Well, I think it has been pretty clear for quite a while now that the ANC, given its track record in the recent past, has actually been deliberately not implementing its own policy and follow policies that are contrary to what its members have been directing it. And those policies, which the ANC has been implementing in the recent past, have given us the outcome that we see today. Massive poverty, unemployment that is world record, inequality world record, and yet the members of the ANC had told the ANC to implement policies that are transformational in nature. At the same time, these policies which the ANC has been implementing are the ones that the DA, which is a European party, and the big business have been calling for quite a while. That frankly tells us that the ANC chose right from the start that they're not interested in implementing their own policies, meaning essentially the ANC and the DA were working together. However, they did not want to announce this project of theirs for obvious reasons. But if you go back and listen to Mr. Paul Mashatile in 2021, where he says the ANC has to have some 40, must keep, the vote to below 50, you may begin to ask, what sort of person is that? Would that be a leader of a party? Or even individually, would you want to be a person having a mark that's below 50? Frankly, not. So there is something deeper that we have been able to see from the ANC recently. These are some of the things that tell us that I think there has been a pact between the two for quite a while now. Well, it's going to be quite rough for the majority of the population, which is the African people. Now the ANC is going to go full hog, implementing the policies that are frankly not, in the interest of South Africans. And because the DA now will have a full voice, the DA and its European big companies, all of them are have European interests, nothing to do with African interests. These are sectarian interests. It's going to be worse. And in our view, we think unemployment is going to continue going up. Poverty is going to continue. Inequality, again, hitting levels unseen before. So this is going to be a formalized pact that the ANC, frankly, and the DA will carry with the policies which they began quite a while back. And frankly, it's going to be very, very sad for the average person in the country. Well, it's very difficult to understand, but one may just guess that, look, the key persons within the ANC are people who are indebted to foreign capital, or if you want, European capital. Some people call it white monopoly capital. These are the people who have been given money and they have got companies, and they're afraid should they not continue to obey as to their masters, frankly, that capital can be taken away from them. So they have to continue, it seems to me, to impress or to make the European capital happy. Otherwise, I don't see why any normal person would go to implement policies that are so disastrous. Remember, I wrote somewhere there saying that austerity, this fiscal consolidation, is disproven academically. Why should any country go and implement that policy that has never worked anywhere? Knowing very well, if it does, poverty, inequality, the cost of living, the cost of doing business are going to skyrocket. So it tells us then that I think going forward, given the formalization of this pact, the troubles will increase for the country. Well, if you give some person some money, he's indebted to you, isn't it? In some way, you're corrupting them. Now, if they have that money and they want to go and corrupt someone else somewhere there, that corruption, which comes from the corrupting capital, extends beyond you to other people who now become patrons. There's patronage right across the people that work with you. Now, in this country, what is well known is that, corruption is only African or something like that. No, it's not. These are the persons who actually initiate corruption, and it transfers from one individual, one company to the next. And they continue to corrupt the rest of society. Now, what we are seeing now is the rampant nature of this European capital, what I call corrupting capital, having corrupted the leaders, and the leaders corrupting other people who must support them, so that they continue to implement policies that anti-people. So I think what we should begin to look at here is to see who really is behind this corruption that we're talking about here. Not necessarily a small person. It is these big people who are corrupted by European capital, this corrupting capital, and the patronage capital together have given us this massive corruption that we see today. And it's unlikely, in my view, to go down unless we cut these people out. Well, it's like asking that within the ANC are all the people corrupt? Within the ANC are all the people supportive of the austerity or these poor policies that the ANC is implementing? Because the answer is no, not all people. Even if this coalition is called GNU, essentially it's a ANC coalition, there's a 60% that is marked in the compact. That 60% will be the consensus. But who is 60%? ANC is 40, GA is 20 or 22 or 21. They have sufficient. The rest are absolutely not able to give us the 60. So it essentially means the consensus is going to be arrived at by the ANC and the DA, therefore pushing the very policies that have given us this mess that we find ourselves in today. Well, Panyaza Lesufi has done what he had to do. He has done a great deal of work. I think he has to continue to do if he's going to be the premier. Well, he's the premier anyway. They have so many tools to move the province ahead. However, they're going to be constrained by Pretoria. Now, to the extent that Pretoria is going to be, implementing an agenda that is anti-ANC, you may expect that one to trickle down to Gauteng as well. And therefore, Gauteng continuously will be unable to deliver the services that they should be delivering. Therefore, we should see Gauteng going down as a consequence of Pretoria itself. Even if Gauteng, by its very nature, would have done better, I'm afraid its hands are going to be tied. However, let's hope that this administration is going to fully go against the dictates of Pretoria, which Pretoria has indicated that it's not interested in fostering economic growth or well-being for the majority of the people. Let's hope Gauteng is going to give us some better light as to it. They really have to force the ANC to ensure that it begins to implement the policies that the majority of the ANC members had put on the table. Those are highly transformational policies that would, in fact, lift all the boats. In fact, many Africans would find life completely changed if the ANC got stuck to the policies the people asked them to implement. Therefore, I think the majority of South Africans should go, even Gautengers should go back to the ANC and force the ANC to reject the neoliberal policy framework that they have been implementing in the recent past. It's very, very easy to do that. I think the people have to force the government to do that.